Uh, who you show up, please, can you please, if you are there, can you please let me know?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. I'm here.
Okay, good morning, my PAG. Good morning. Yeah, we thank God for the gift of this day, and I want you to guide us as to how we start this. I just spoke with PDG Kola Shodipo, who is a bit down, but he promised to join us. So
Okay.
let's start this call. Then you be the one, or do I just go ahead to welcome our guest speakers and I give my opening remark?
Yes. Let me call you into it, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You want to call yes?
No. I said we can go
Okay,
ahead and start. Let me just invite you to it.
okay, no problem. Go ahead. While I would.
Good morning, my DG, my PDG, and the speakers in the house. It's good to have you this morning. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. And I want to believe that we're going to learn so much today. This month is the month of peace building and conflict prevention. And today in this virtual meeting, we have two able speakers, I will say, who are going to take us through what peace really is and how we can have peace in our communities, and also what Rotary has been doing in this line over these years. So the first speaker is our past district governor Motunde Lawson, and the second speaker is Veteran Rilwan Maliki, the chief superintendent of police. But first, I would like to invite our district governor, Veteran Femi Adeneko, to welcome us formally before we start. Thank you.
Thank you
My
very
district.
much. Okay, thank you very much, PAG Shoabi, for guiding us through this call. And I sincerely want to apologize to those who have joined by around 8. We are about 21 minutes late on this call. It was due to some technical issues. So, on behalf of all of us in Rotary International District 912, I want to welcome guest speakers to this second half online training, the second in the series for the half year. We had one January 1, and today is February 1, and we're having the second one for this year. This is the seventh edition of this kind of training. And being the month of peace building and conflict prevention, we have our past district governor, Motunde Lawson, who is a member of Peace, Positive Peace, Action for Positive Peace. I don't know if I got it right. And we also have Ruteran Ruwa Malik, who is a superintendent of police and better understand what it means not to have peace, because theirs to maintain peace and order. So on that, on your behalf and on behalf of all of us, we welcome the two of them to this call, and we do hope we'll be impacted by their presentation. On this note, I hereby call this seventh edition of our online monthly training to order. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, distinguished Rotarians. We'll quickly invite our first speaker, past District Governor Omotunde Lawson. She will talk to us on positive peace, tools for building enduring peaceful communities.
Yes.
Please, the floor is yours, ma'am. When she finishes, please, we'll take questions at the end of this second speaker. Thank you very much. Ma'am, you can go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Before we go ahead, I wanted to just confirm whether this is the latest edition I sent to you.
That
My
should
DG,
be it. Yes,
because I can share the correct one from here.
you can share from your end, ma.
Yes, it will make me co-host.
Okay. Yes. Oh, okay,
So-
please.
Okay,
So what
ma,
that one is going on? Yes.
I'll make you the host. Then when you're done, you can make me the host back, ma.
Oh,
Please
okay.
go
Is that
ahead.
okay? Okay, that'll be fine.
It's
Thank you
okay.
so much. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you
ma'am.
so much.
Yes, ma'am.
So that I can share from my end here. But before that, let me humbly and respectfully acknowledge our district governor, Rotarian Femi Adenekon, the pioneer district governor for District 9112. You are highly welcome, sir. Thank you for the opportunity given to me to be at this 7th edition of a virtual learning series for District 9112. I also want to extend the same appreciation to our district
Ma,
learning,
you're now the host, ma.
the district learning facilitator, deputy
Hello,
learning
ma, you're the
facilitator.
host now.
She should stop. Stop your own then, please. Stop your own. You can stop sharing your own. So that's the only way I can share from here. Or else I send it, and I don't have your number, so I can't send it to you. Is it okay? Yeah. So I'm still not able to share.
You can share now.
Unless I send it to PDG,
She has to stop.
PAG, maybe I can send it to you because. Okay. All right. I think that'll be fine now.
Okay.
Okay. Are you okay? All right. So thank you, Deputy District and Facilitator PhD Wishowabi. Distinguished Rotarians, good morning to you all. And you're all welcome to this month of peace building and conflict prevention. And I decided to choose a topic that I know could be of interest to all of us, which is positive peace, tool for building enduring peaceful communities. Next slide. We know that there's conflict within any society. Where there are two or more people, there's not to be conflict. And conflict theory states that society is in a constant state of conflict. Conflict is an open clash between two or more people, or opposing groups or individuals who make up communities. Conflict can occur within families, even between two people, between two siblings in a family, in schools, in churches, organizations, living environment, offices, companies, cities, towns, and countries. Conflict that is not managed will lead to violence or even can escalate to a worse situation. Now, 5 causes of conflict. There could be more than this, but let's just put these 5 together. 1, inequity and inequality. They are 2 different things. Inequity is unfairness and favoritism. Inequality is not using the same yardstick for the same set of people under same circumstance, or not giving equal opportunities or rights to people. Information and communication. When there is no avenue for proper communication or information, people will be fed with misinformation. And when there's communication gap, people will be led sheepishly. And if what care is taken, people will be fighting for what they don't know even the cause of, because they will have been misinformed. And this is also a very serious cause of conflict. Then we have conflict of interest. That is a situation in which the concerns or aim of 2 different parties are not the same. They are different. And so there's conflict of interest. And we have strong emotion or different priorities. Definitely, as we are even here now, as Rotarians, we have different priorities. And when we are not on the same page, we're going to argue on what to do first. Which one do we do first? Which one is more important? What is important to me will be different from what is important to you. So different priorities will cause conflict. There's strong emotion. You know, when it says somebody has passion, you can have passion for what is very good. But even if it's not applied properly, you can misuse that strong passion for what is good. It's often so powerful that it takes over the mind or judgment. Next slide. Let's hold on a bit. Sorry. Now. Sorry, I'm not going to forward to share the screen. Okay. Conflict due to lack of basic needs for survival. E.g., food, which is one of the most immediate requirements for day-to-day survival. Let's look at this particular slide.
What's going on? Oge, can you take over? Can't hear her.
Okay, maybe it's the network.
Okay.
It's probably a network.
We're not hearing her again.
Let me. She's the host, so
Okay, she has to
I'll make
unmute
her.
herself.
I think it's switched. I've made her the host back. Things switched.
So you cannot unmute her from there.
I didn't know that. I think she should unmute herself from there.
She doesn't even know that we're not hearing her.
Is it possible?
She's
Okay.
the host now.
I've unmuted myself, please.
Okay.
When the thing went off, I mean, just closed everything. So sorry about that.
Maybe
I
I
have to
just
connect.
go back
Okay,
a little bit.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, let me go to this slide now. This one. No, not this one. The one before this one. Now, the first picture there shows two people. This separated by a man. This could be in an office. It could even be in the church. It can even be anywhere. That's one scenario between two people. Then you can see the second picture. I'm sure they met on the road and they hit one another. If this one is not settled quickly, it could lead to them boxing each other. Before you know what happens, people will come around supporting this, supporting that. And you know the scenarios we have when we have Okadas. If suddenly, by any mistake, you hit an Okada, I'm sure you know the kind of experience that you're likely to face there and there. The third one, two people pulling the string between the two other. Who's going to win? They have obviously fighting over something. It's neither here nor there. Then you can see the fourth one down, the first one below. People carry different arms. That is when conflicts are not managed, it leads to violence. And you will see a scenario like this. The last picture where we have buildings shows a scene of destruction. When there's conflict that is not managed, gets to violence, things will get damaged. Now, peace the way the world thinks about it. There is conventional way the world thinks about peace, which often focuses on the negative peace. If everything is calm, is silent, nothing is happening, we are just going to our places of work, nothing, we feel everything is okay. And we feel it's a state of peace because there's no war, there's no direct violence, there's no fear of violence, we're just going about your lawful duties. However, that state of peace is a state of negative peace because it's only temporary. So this short-term thinking about peace focuses merely on ending violence and trauma, rather than building longer-term conditions that enable society to reconcile, unify, and flourish. The basic distinction between, so there are two types of peace, please, two forms of peace, positive and negative peace. And this particular theory was popularized by prominent peace theorist, Van Galtung. While researching, discovered that peace cannot just be everything just silent and there's a sort of uneasy calm. So, and the distinction now led to the issue of this positive peace. And positive peace refers to the absence of structural violence. What is structural violence? A form of violence wherein social structures or social institutions harm people by preventing them from meeting their basic needs. And in the structure on ground, the social structure, institutions, they harm people because they prevent them from meeting their basic needs. So, but if there's absence of the structural peace, that is the kind of peace that we need in existence, positive peace. There, this body called the Institute for Economics and Peace is a global think tank with headquarters in Sydney, Australia, with branches in about 5 other countries. It was founded by an IT entrepreneur and philanthropist, Steve Lilia, in 2007. Just because they want the body wanted to still look closely to this issue of peace and to come out with some indices of what actually a state of peace should be. It aims to create a paradigm shift in the way the world thinks about peace. What does IEP do? IEP studies relationship between peace, business, and prosperity, and seeks to promote understanding of the cultural, economic, and political factors that drive peacefulness. That is what the studies is all about. And since 2007, it has been an annual, the research continues, and the report comes out every year, studying what has improved and what has not improved in the world. So IEP came up with 3 indices, but I'm going to take only 2. One has to do with global terrorism index, because we cannot go in depth. And we have what we call the Global Peace Index. This Global Peace Index is the world's leading measure of global peacefulness across 163 countries. That is, the study was done in 163 countries of the world. And this index highlights trends in violence, conflict, and the overall decline or improvement of peace across various regions. Like I said, the research started in 2007 and have been reported every year to study whether there's an improvement of peace in one region or there's decline across various regions. The first report was produced the first year that IEP came into existence, and that was in 2007. This is GPI, which is Global Peace Index report 2023. We have the latest one, but it's not here. This is a pictorial representation of the 163 countries that were researched into, and they're represented in different colors. The green on top, I don't know if I touch it, you're going to see my hand here. That is the area with a very high state of peace. And we have countries like, which are going to agree with me, Canada and Iceland. There are other places around that place, very few though, that have very high state of peace. Then we have the next column, and it's like teal color. And we have countries like Australia, and that is lower America, Australia, Australia, China, Argentina, and some parts of Europe. Anywhere you find this teal color, those are the areas that you have high state of peace, but not as high as Canada and Iceland, for example. You have Australia around here. Then we have medium state of peace. You have countries like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Algeria. And we have countries with low state of peace. And we have the United States of America, and you have Brazil. And you now have countries with very low state of peace. Myanmar, of course, our beloved country, Nigeria, Pakistan, Burkina Faso, to mention a few, particularly the Sahel region of Africa. Now, the IEP studies now gave birth to this positive peace index. The first one was Global Peace Index. This is Positive Peace Index, PPI, which is a transformative framework that measures the factors that sustain peace. And there are so many factors that were considered, so many factors. It measured the level of societal resilience of 163 countries, covering 99.7% of the world's population. It's as if almost the entire world was researched into to know the state of peace. Positive peace improves peacefulness, but many other social factors, including governance, economic development, well-being, and ecological performance. Those are what the Positive Peace Index have actually brought out. So it covers these areas that I mentioned, the area that I researched into, broken down again into many other minute details that were studied to get to this index. Now, this positive peace index gave rise to some derivatives. What are the derivatives? Like we said earlier, positive peace index is once there are structural factors that are put in place, then there'll be positive peace. And this PPI gave birth to 8 pillars of positive peace. So from the index, PPI, which covers the research in 163 countries, these 8 pillars of positive peace are derived. And if you look at them properly, they will have answered the question of when we have a structural things in place that will drive normal peace and will affect if there won't be violence, because these things are in place. 1, well-functioning government. 2, equitable distribution of resources. 3, free flow of information. 4, good relations with neighbors. 5, high level of human capital. 6, acceptance of the right of others. 7, low levels of corruption. And 8, sound business environment. You can see at the center, peace. You can see the interconnectivity. All those lines shows that all these 8 pillars of positive peace are actually interconnected. One affects the others. So when you look at a country like Canada, for example, I've never lived there, but I've been there. And if that state of Iceland, they have the highest level of peace from the Global Peace Index or the Positive Peace Index, definitely shows that all these 8 pillars are positive and they're functioning there. And therefore, there is nothing that we can erupt violence, because what will have erupted violence already been put in place. managing conflicts, function of who? Government at various levels, community leaders, non-governmental organizations, e.g. Rotary like ours, individuals. All the above must learn to feel the pulse of the citizens where things are calm, our societies, our communities, wherever we find ourselves, as either as individuals, and we know issues can cause peace, and can cause conflict. How do we intervene to ensure the things that will not even make conflicts to ensure are put in place? We must show empathy and give support where needed for positive peace to reign. How has, okay, let me go back to this slide again. I said, who are the people that manages conflict? People that manage conflict? Function of who? You can see non-governmental organizations. And we, like Rotarians, we are one of such. And in fact, we have taken the lead in solving these 8 pillars of positive peace, putting them in place. I mean, a few of them, we can put them in place. Even if we cannot, we are not the government, but we partner with government to do many things so that we can support them. That's where we are a not-for-profit organization, and we know government cannot do it all. So where the government is not well functioning, we are there to provide the link. And we talk of free flow of information. You know what Rotary does? We speak out. We inform people. When there's misinformation, we are there to educate people. We are there to inform them. We are there to get them better educated. When there's free flow of information, like when we're having a programs, we go online, we go to media houses, we speak there, people are listening. Even what they would not actually have heard about, we're able to provide. Now, let me now go back, just went back to that just briefly. Rotary, which was founded in 1917, in 1905, and the foundation was founded in 1917. The TRF has as its mission the advancement of world understanding, goodwill, and peace. You can imagine something that has been, a mission that has been in place since about 108 years now, 1970 to today. It shows the premium that Rotary plays on peace right from existence. And what do? We address the following areas of focus. By the time we talk about this, it will take us back to have the third slide, where we say the needs for survival. What are those needs for survival? Now, this is one of the reasons where we have conflicts, due to lack of basic needs for survival. So I just took us back to this for us to see that by the time we get here, and now go back, we find where Rotary has just stepped in appropriately to bridge the gap and to reduce many occasions of violence and conflict. Even as Rotary, if you don't manage some of these things well, you can even see conflict ensuing. That's for example, now we have gone to carry out the project, and we have about 500 people that are there, and you didn't even know they're going to be up to that. And in course of distributing something, you're only able to give 250. What would happen almost immediately? There would be serious, you will not be able to manage what will happen after that, if not well managed. Therefore, inequality must be addressed, even when we are doing our projects. We do not have to look at some people and favor them, which is also inequity, favoring some people to detriment of some others. That will not make us to put in place what will prevent conflict, which is positive peace. So what are areas of focus? For the first one is peace, building, and conflict prevention and resolution. It has now become one of the 7 areas of focus of Rotary Foundation. And as Rotarians, as individuals, we have been engaged in projects as clubs, Rotary clubs, to address this. We need a lot of sensitization, advocacy. We need to go out to places where we need to talk to our people. We don't have to wait until things have gotten to a level where we will not be able to manage it. All the other ones are providing things for survival. Disease prevention and treatment. Look at the current vision for mission that is now one started, started this year now. This one they're calling doing. It has spread to looks and crannies of everywhere. And we have so many people, thousands, that came. It's because government has not provided. Non-functioning government is not in place or not well functioning. So let me not say non-functioning. Let me say well functioning government is not in place. And therefore, if it's in place, in fact, we won't have that multitude of people coming for limited facility that will be available. Water and sanitation. How many people would we have lost to a variety of diseases if we had not, as Rotarians, globally, come to provide potable water anywhere we can provide it? Because as we speak, government can never meet up to provide water in all our communities as we speak. But Rotary is to the rescue. But we do that. Sanitation, at the cost of polio, open defecation everywhere. No public toilets in all our public places. And people are pressed and they go everywhere, anywhere. And we have polio. And you know how long it took us to battle polio. As this same organization, Rotary, is the one that took the lead to do that. So, due to advocacy, sensitization, we go to places to talk about how to live a sanitized life to prevent diseases. Maternal and child death. How many people have died of childbirth? Look at the program of skills given to Nigeria. It was to address maternal and child death by 35%. If that action group for that maternal and child death is not there to man this program of skills, or doesn't even exist at all, how many women and children shall we continue to lose daily, at least in our own country, Nigeria? Support for environment. There's also an ecological threat. We cannot take all this because they all cause, in positive peace, they all cause. They are ecological threats. And that one has to do with environment. Why did Rotary say, no, we have to support our environment? We must build trees. We must plant trees. We must reduce global warming. We must protect the earth. All because we realize that ecological threat is another thing that YEP also studied, and it has its own index separately too, will not augur well for humanity. And of course, community economic development, where we empower people. We train them because there must be increase that human capital. There must be development. People must work. They must earn their living from a source. And it's only everybody that can have access to formal education. But we can train them in a lot of things that they can use their hands to do, and even make them the manager of their own companies and investment, starting in a very little way. Rotary has done that successfully. So how can we be involved in promoting positive peace in our communities? Because without promoting positive peace, conflict will continue to go on. And conflict will lead to violence. Violence not managed. At the end of the day, it may not be war around here, but what are wars in other countries that are still currently at war? It's either with conflicts because they are fighting over one thing or the other. survival of the fittest. We want to acquire this country. We have to acquire this country. We don't want to this boundary. No, we want to remove the boundary and we can acquire another country. All these ones they started from conflicts that have not been managed whereby countries of the world and they now aggravate to wars. So as Rotary clubs and Rotarians, we are already involved by addressing which is the 7 areas of focus. But beyond that, and to further support our communities in building positive peace, we need to further empower ourselves. Let me mention, you will have seen that probably in my presentation, you saw IEP, Peace Ambassador. It was a free publication. I mean, it was publicized. And I saw it because Rotary continues to encourage us. And if you are Rotarians and peace, so in terms of what peace and understanding is part of our, we should all be part of being peace ambassadors. So we can eschew peace, we can spread peace, we can advocate for peace everywhere. Now we may do it better if you are better informed and we still learn more about it. So I enrolled for this peace IEP ambassadorial program. I mean, it's about a month. You go to, I mean, you read, you do some tests, assessments, whether you know what you are going. It's technical, but then it took time. But I knew that I have a goal because I did one before. I wrote as peace activator, and I was trained. I had the opportunity of being freely trained at the international at the Rotary Convention in Singapore. I mean, a free ticket to go, having hosted peace activator cohort in 2022 in Nigeria. So it was the privilege invitation extended to me. So part of that one at the last convention. So after that, now in Nigeria, in the caucus of my room here, I did this ambassadorial program, which is after you have done the course, taken the course, you go and do a project anywhere of your choice so that what we have learned, you can practice it. How do you now entrench positive peace in any environment? I chose my school because the school itself is an environment of conflict. And that is where the teachers and students were trained from what I learned. It's like train the trainers. So I want us as Rotarians to watch out for this kind of trainings and be part of them. There is this 3-month diploma course in peace building and conflict resolution, organized by Bank University in partnership with Rotary District 911. It is a new program. And anybody at any level, you could see those that are part of the very first edition. Doctors, I'm telling you, people who are well learned, they came to enroll for it. Most of the courses are virtual, but you can take on there are a few physical ones. However, it's not open to Rotarians. Let me quickly say that. But you can have your friends, your children, your colleagues who are not Rotarians, who can be part of this 3 months virtual training. We need to empower ourselves. We need to build ourselves further. If you know, we actually want to promote what understanding, goodwill, and peace, or our own community understanding goodwill and peace in our own communities, then we need to empower ourselves, but at least and trying to take one of these courses or any other course online that can better empower us to serve our communities better and to put in place things that will entrench positive rather than a state of uneasy calm where you think there is peace, but actually there's no peace. Any small things, we just erupt violence, and there we go. So I want to thank once again my district governor and the district learning committee, headed by PDG Kola Shodipo, for giving me the opportunity to come and share a bit. Positive is the whole course. It takes a long time. We cannot finish everything within this limited time. But I hope that I've been able to pass a little across to our listener this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We've heard you. Is just the
let me
question.
transfer back to where are we transfer? So please, can transfer the power of to the host, please. Is that Franca?
No. To okay.
Ma, you can transfer back to Rotary 9112.
911. Okay, we'll do that anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
So those that have questions, please note your questions down or comments or anything you want to add. We want to take the second speaker. After the second speaker have spoken, we'll take all the questions together and they will all duly be answered.
Thank you, ma'am.
So please, I want to quickly invite our second speaker, the Chief Superintendent of Police, Rotarian Rilwan Maliki. Please take the floor and speak to us on peace building as a tool for community development. Thank you very much. Mr. Malik, please.
Is he online now? Because he was having challenge logging in some few minutes ago.
Let me see if I can reach out to him. Let me look for him.
I think while we are waiting for him, we can take questions, comments and questions so that we don't just hold on without doing anything.
All right, sir. So please, if you have any question, any comments, any addition to what our PDG Lawson has said, please let's see your hands and we'll take one after the other. Please just raise your hand if you want to say something.
Yes, the DG, over to you, DG, sir.
Okay, thank you, the DLF and the deputy. I want to also thank our facilitator who has spoken to us on conflict and conflict prevention and the need for us to live in peace. For my own comment will be, rather I will go into a question, will be that in all of this, the peace being the first area of focus of the Rotary 7 area of focus, we realize that since the area of focus has been part of the global grant, we have hardly been able to have much global grant projects on peace building and conflict prevention because of its peculiar nature of abstract nature. It is difficult to measure empirically and to give intended outcome on peace and conflict building. From the RI data or website, less than 5% of the global grant approved so far has been on peace building and conflict prevention. So my question is, what can we do, or what are the best modes that we can fashion global grants around peace building and conflict prevention? Because it's been very challenging for Rotarians all over the world. That's my question.
Thank you very much, my district governor. You would not believe that I thought I could do it because I know I served as club president when Rotary thing was peace through service. And I've been involved in a lot of peace this, peace that over the years. But I think lack of knowledge, adequate knowledge, is what made it impossible for me to even say, okay, let's come together, let's do a global. I looked at it, but it failed. And I could now see when this, I think that's one of the reasons why Rotary woke up and fashioned this kind of trainings. We have the Peace Activator training, 6 cohorts were done all over globally in 6 different regions of the world. It was in Central Africa and Africa that was brought to Lagos, you know, and then these ambassador programs will came there. It was publicized far and wide. The reason being that if you don't, that course that I said I did, this IEP ambassador program, loaded with, in fact, loaded with a lot of data. It is data driven. And that's why IEP, that's why they've been successful for 18 years or thereabout. Data driven. So actually, it can be empirical because everything is data driven. It has to take time. You have to look at what you're actually studying, go around and take your observations and documents and derive data from it to do that. It's achieving my governor. But because, like I said, it is not an area that Rotary has paid attention to in educating Rotarians enough for them to even know how to go about it. I think going forward, it won't be difficult if many Rotarians who have done, and many people have done all these kind of trainings, they can come together. From the little project I did in my school, everybody has a place to do their projects. So coming together like that, I'm sure we can write a global grant project. It shouldn't be too difficult for us to write in a short while, my DG. I think we can look at it and we can achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you. My DG, you still want to say something?
I said I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, thank you. So we now have Rotarian Maliki on call. Please, sir, you can take your stand. He's going to speak to us on the. Sorry, please. He's going to speak to us on the topic peace building as a tool for community development. Okay, please project. Rotarian Maliki, please. Rotarian Maliki, please, let's have you. Where is he now? He's there now. Please unmute yourself. Okay, please unmute him. Okay, unmute him, please.
I've asked him to unmute already.
Okay. Rotarian Adeleye will take your question later. Please, thank you. Okay, he's still muted though.
That's the thing. I've asked him to unmute. I've unmuted, so I've asked him to unmute so he can unmute from his end.
Okay. He's still muted though.
He's still muted.
Yes.
I guess he's having some challenges somewhere up there. Rotarian Malik, can you hear us? Just unmute. Click and unmute yourself. Well, while we are battling that, can you please let Rotarian Emmanuel ask his question? Yes, just leave the slide on. So while Malik is trying to sort himself.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, my DG, sir. I'm Richard Emmanuel from Rotary Club of Anthony Golden. Okay, so I actually joined while PADG was still talking about the importance of peace and conflict resolution in our community, and then giving data and how important some of the studies she has actually participated in and how we can adopt same in our various communities very close to us. So, but what I want to ask as it relates to Nigeria as well as our immediate environment, because this is actually something that is data driven and can also be put out there for people to actually learn about, is do we have this data cascaded down to local communities such that if we are to adopt this kind of trainings or programs, we are speaking from a reliable data that has been captured, and that is what we are also speaking to. And we could also now gather our own information, say laced with, say, can everyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
go ahead.
continue.
Okay, say laced with questionnaires, surveys, such that we do not just only give information, but we are able to actually have a feedback mechanism, and we are able to follow up with these individuals such that they are also able to report their experiences. That way it forms part of the data we're able to collate and also upload on a platform that can be monitored and traced. So that's the question I wanted to ask, that beyond us
Thank you.
taking the initiative to actually participate in this and then take this out there, is there a platform, is there a way, is there an avenue that this can actually be adopted such that it is data driven and cascaded down to our local communities, and that data can actually be real time? So that's the question I want to ask.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. It's because you said you actually joined a little bit late. As the Institute for Economic and Peace, if I is in partnership with Rotary, as we speak, all what the research they did for 15 years, 18 years going now, they are data driven. And the same research they conducted in 163 countries in the last 18 years, that every year different reports come out. And you might not be able to download the reports for the various years since you have not undertaken the IEP training, but there are some reports that are available online from other sources that I also checked on when I was doing my training. Because if you are to go, you cannot finish this in 1 month. But there are different data, different data surrounding all these researches, or different parameters we are looked into to get to this data. And in doing our own course too and prepare for our project, they also gave us a template that you can also use to do your own project. So if you now want to go do a peace project after you have also learned about how to go about it, I now want to go to the community to research into what has happened, the template will be available for that we can use to assist you, because you are the ones that will know exactly what you want to look out for in that community, the prevailing situation in the community that you want to address and you want to provide data on. But they will give you a guide. Guides are available, that can be used to support your own research when you want to do a community project or peace building. They did their own, going to different countries, from different countries. So in our community too, adopt the same template to get our own data. So that's how it is. I have about a few years of these indexes, the Economic Threat Index, Global Terrorism Index. I didn't mention even that one because we cannot exhaust them at all. So all those ones, there are different other indices that were used. So they're data driven. before they arrive at the most peaceful country and the least peaceful country. So thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Rotan Maliki, please, are you on?
Yes, I'm on, ma. Good morning, ma.
All right, please take the floor. Please speak to
Okay,
us.
I'm Rotaria Maliki Bawa, one for Rotary Ikeja GRA. Good morning, my district governor, my PGDs, my senior Rotarian friends in the house. Studying on the existing protocol, I'm here before you just to give a definition of what peace. Peace is a state of tranquility, quiet, and harmony. For instance, a state that is free from any civil disturbances, a state free of oppression or oppressive and oppressor thought and emotion from the populace. Harmony is a personal relation, a state free of war, in particular, war between villages, state, countries. This could be caused in many ways. We are sitting down within the conference room or the conference zone today. If it wasn't free, none of us will near that environment. That is these instances of what we regard as a peace. Then we're not talking about introduction of peace building. It's a proactive process that goes beyond conflict resolution, aiming to address underlying causes of violence and sustainable peace through community engagement. While the purpose of community development is to bring people together to work towards a common goal. Improving the quality of life in their communities, it is a powerful tool that addresses social and economic issues, promote inclusive and diversity, and empower community to take action. Importance of peace building for community development. Peace building is important to ensure people feel safe in their community. Maintaining peace building allows for economic and social development and encouraging the following in the community: social cohesion. Peace building fosters trust and cooperation between diverse groups, enabling cooperative effort towards shared goals. Also, economic growth. A peaceful environment is essential for attracting investment, creating jobs, and promoting economic development. Access to basic services. Peace building can facilitate improved access to education, healthcare, and other essential services, like what we are enjoying today in our country and other countries. Empowerment. Community-led peace building initiative can empower individuals and groups to actively participate in decision-making process. Peace building strategies in a community. Dialogue and reconciliation, facilitating open dialogue between conflict groups to understand grievances, promote forgiveness, and build bridges. Community-based conflict resolution mechanisms. Establishing local conflict resolution structures like traditional mediation or community court so that issues can be settled amicably. Youth engagement. Mobilizing young people as peace builders through education, leadership training, and economic empowerment program. Women participation. You can see that our PGD are just spoken now. So that's why we must engage as well. Actively involving women in peace building, effort to address gender-based inequality so that we not say they are less or whatever way we may regard them as our women. Peace education. Integrating peace education into school curriculum to promote conflict resolution skill and tolerance so that we can tolerate ourselves whichever way, either religion, background. Challenges and consideration. Political will. The need to strong political commitment and leadership to implement peace building policies. Resource constraints. Challenges of funding and capacity building for effective program. Historical grievances. Address deep-rooted historical tension and mistrust between a community. How peace can be built in the community. Treat others with respect. Practice empathy and promote understanding. Join campaigns and movements that bring people together to stomp out aggression. Peace builder must be able to lead by example, inspire trust, confidence, and empower others to take action, facilitate skill, evolve guiding a group process, managing conflict and promoting collaboration and consensus building among stakeholders. This we can do to pave the way for peace in whatever area, diversification, our community, our hope. Reach out to others we should not do. Create space, peace, share hope, connect with others. Peace builders in your community. Peace is a prerequisite for development as a whole, because it creates an enabling environment for the fundamental of a society's progress, and also enriches community and individual life as it directs to embrace diversity and support one another to the fullest extent, possibly through caring, generosity, and fairness, and provide a cornerstone for attaining a sustainable, just, meaningful, vibrant, and fulfilled personal and community life. You can see how we are sitting that peacefully because we are able to tolerate ourselves, we are able to understand ourselves, we are able to ensure that our environment we are sitting today is peace. That is what I can give for today. Thank you, my district governor, my PGD, my senior editorial, and friends in the house.
Thank you very much, Rotarian Maliki.
Maliki, thank you, ma.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate,
Please take questions, comments, additions. Let's see your hand so we
I'm
can.
very ready.
The facilitators will take your questions.
Comment.
It's not negotiable. It's not negotiable. Please,
I'll just raise my hand.
All right, sir. Please.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Rotarian Maliki,
with you, sir.
Superintendent of Police.
Chief
Thank you for coming up for this call.
Yes, sir.
I know it was challenging for you to be here, but we
It's not
thank
a
God you
problem.
were able to hear. Yeah.
Sacrifice.
I have a major challenge
Go ahead, sir.
in one area,
Yes,
which
sir.
is you mentioned gender inclusivity and gender violence.
Exactly.
Experience has shown us, and
Yes,
and I know there's a section of police force now that is based on gender. Now,
you can't play with it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now there are developments that are coming up.
Yes,
we
sir.
have a situation where we have the Joseph treatment for men
Yes,
in the
sir.
society now.
Yes, sir.
When there is a gender violence against men, we don't
Yes, sir.
see it talked about or publicized.
Yes,
But
sir.
when there is a gender violence against a woman, it is everywhere in the news.
The whole world.
Yes, there is another issue that is coming up.
Yes, sir.
Which I got to know that the definition is the Joseph treatment, where
Yes,
a
sir.
woman who unfortunately might have tried to seduce a man
Yes, sir.
into having a sexual act will turn out to now allege that person of rape.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I understand the Lagos state law is such that when you are alleged of rape, it
Yes,
is
sir.
unbailable until
It's available
by court of law.
Yes, sir.
This I have come to understand because of the recent experience I had in the last 3 months, made
Yes,
me
sir.
very keen about this issue.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I began to make inquiries that a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of men have gone to prison for what they did not commit.
Yes,
And
sir.
even when they eventually were freed, they would have
Yes, sir.
stayed up to 3-4 months in the cells just
Before
because
they
it's
can release.
unbailable.
Yes, sir.
This, to me, cannot engender good peace within our society.
Okay,
And
sir.
personally, I have taken it up upon myself to begin a kind of a research into this. If
Yes, sir.
I will be able to package a district grant for that, I'm interested. If I'm
Yes,
not,
sir.
I will take it up as a project of my own, even when I leave
Okay,
office as a district governor.
Yes,
This
sir.
is one situation I've realized is causing a lot of men. And the
Yes,
future
sir.
of our youth is blink.
Yes, sir.
I've heard about there's a news on social media where a lady said a police officer
Yes, sir.
asked her to lie on someone else that
Yes, sir.
he raped her.
Yes, sir.
and the lady confessed, it's on the social media. And if
Yes,
this
sir.
continue, I'm not saying there are no issues of genuine rape that needs to be
Exactly.
convicted, but
Exactly.
the situation where it is unbailable and the innocent suffer, some even go to prison on false accusation. What
Yes, sir.
can be done on this?
Well, to be candid, sir, you make a very good point. I just left being a DPO some months ago in Amukoko, and when you do analysis of Amukoko police station was one of the worst division in Lagos. When you count about 10 divisions many years ago, I think it can be on that class. I was a DPO there for almost 3 years, where I see issues of that nature, rape, and into our own prerogative is left for us to now investigate deeply. Even before you release or before you detain, there are elements to prove that actually somebody has committed an offense. We cannot be, police have gone beyond the way the populace take us. That is the truth. We cannot go beyond the truth or objective in whatever we do. Actually, people commit all these things, but it's not left for police on its own as a person to be objective, to be diligent in whatever investigation you are doing, so that you will not be injustice to anybody. And actually, we know how women do. I'm sorry to say, and so also men do too, so that offenses are committed every day in whatever circumstances. But it's left for the police to be diligent in the investigation. That is very paramount. And when you are diligent and whatever you do, you will put the fear of God too, so that somebody cannot be taken for injustice in whatever way. People go to prison in whatever circumstances, but it depends on the presentation of witnesses, presentation of evidences that we now say, even in court too, they go with logic, they go with evidence, they go with witnesses. I just left a court about a month ago, 11 years case, where I was supposed to be bribed, and I refused to take a bribe. And I just gave my last witnesses 11 years ago, after how many courts, from one court to another, for another. I said I will not leave that matter because it was pure truth of obtaining other forfeited or conversion of funds of about 5.something million. So that is it. And who was alleged was a lawyer. So those are some of the things we have in the country or in the community. So that is it. We must be objective, and most of the time we go to a state where, even you take my case from Amukoko, I go to state command, it's not objective. You go to Eda command, it's not objective. You go to the Abuja, they definitely the truth must come out. That is it, sir. I'm sorry to say.
Sorry, but actually what I'm saying now is a situation where someone is arrested and such person is in incarceration for months just because rape is not available. And eventually it turned out that these people use it as a vendetta. And they were even warned that if this case should go to court, it may linger for 1 year before the truth can be established. Now, the innocent will continue to suffer in prison, and such career can be jeopardized, image will be battered. Let us take the issue of Apostle Suleiman, for instance.
Have you?
That the lady allegedly said he raped her. He raped her. And later now started going on social media that it was a lie. Look at the damage it has done. And you can imagine if that man is not an high-profile person, the number of years he would have stayed in prison and probably would have gone to prison. So I just want us to begin to look at this issue, because I'm saying this because in Lagos, the rule says that rape is not bailable.
It's not even Lagos. Worldwide today itself is a big
but it's a major issue where women now use it as an instrument to get somebody arrested on basis of allegation. Some of them will come out to come and confess publicly that it was true, it was a lie. But
that is why
you have to, why I'm asking you this question is because you have to be able to make, as a law enforcer, to begin to engender some things that we need to do to bring this. I'm not saying rapists should not be jailed, rapists should not be arrested, but a situation where it is not available, it is not available, can only be released when it gets to court by a judge, and that is on very slim chances. I made this investigation so much that the person involved will have to find a way of placating the people who allege him.
False
And at the end
allegation.
of the day, when the police allege him of rape, when police
Yes, sir.
now did all their investigation, they found
And
out
it's
that the boy did not do the thing. But we
Okay,
are gone
okay.
ahead to, because we are afraid
that
of
person
the
can be charged for false information. The other person can be charged for false information.
well, that is.
Yes.
But before he goes on to charge for that, that person would have suffered, and his
So far,
career
a degree
would have been
of exactly.
jeopardized.
Exactly.
So we need to begin to talk about this when we are talking of peace, and
Exactly.
how people can be very, very evil in their approach to life.
That
I've
is
heard
why
of the persons who were locked up just because he's a developer. He was
Yes,
buying
sir.
houses. He was even
Mhm.
helping people in the community. Because the
Yes,
people
sir.
around the area felt he was taking them
Don't
by
like
their
it.
houses. They alleged him with a lady, and the guy
Mhm.
had to go to detention for months before the
Okay.
lady now confessed.
Actually, we men, we must have to be very careful. That is the truth. If you people could remember that issue of University of Lagos, where a lady was alleged to have been manhandled, was viral, whatever. I was the IPO in the state CID party before I became a DPO. And at the end of it all, the man accepted that the lady was telling him, go off the light inside the lecturer room. And he went to off the light. He said, I want to experience a dark room. Then he off the light. So all these things are part of element that will actually show that you have an intention, even if you didn't touch the girl. Definitely the offense will be committed. The man was sacked, and he later is supposed to become a lecturer, a professor 2 years ago. I was the IPO. So those are some of the women must be very, very careful. We must be very, very careful. That is the truth, sir. So that all those issues of either allegation or you committed must not come into place, sir. That is it, sir. In other way around, I will also take your note to ensure that we do our best in our own side, sir.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
AG Hebrima.
Sir?
That's AG Hebrima that is raising his hand.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you, my district governor. Good morning, and my past district governor, Motode Lawson. Thank you for your presentation. I learned a lot. Rotarian brother Malik, right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate, sir.
My district learning facilitator and my deputy district learning facilitator, fellow Rotarians. I think this is. I look forward to this, trainings, learning opportunity, first Saturday of the month. So each time I miss it, I actually feel terrible. But today I'm glad I'm here. And for peace, building and conflict prevention, I think it's a great session we've had today. But I just want to add that can you hear me?
Yes.
I hope you can hear me, please.
Yes.
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, continue.
Okay. I want to add, mine is an additional comment, really, that Rotary globally, we have 7 peace centers. I thought I needed to add that, and that they are situated in different parts of the world, including the first and only one in Africa. The Peace Center in Africa is the very first and the only one so far at Makerere University in Kampala, Uganda. And now I hear even Uganda now they have been hit by Ebola disease again. When we talk about the Rotary Foundation, my PDG, Motode Lawson mentioned, how the foundation also works against, improving health-related issues as one of the key areas. The peace centers, I want to add, tailor-made to offer curricula, to train.
is the video?
Not coming on. No worry.
My AG, please continue.
Please continue.
Hello?
Yeah,
No,
please
not you, not you. Roshan Malik, mute
Sir?
yourself. Mute yourself, not you.
Okay.
Hello, morning. Yeah, good morning, madam.
AG, please continue.
I think my internet went off. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Okay. As I was saying, the peace in we have 7 peace centers in the whole of the world. I was saying that we have one in Africa, which is at the Makerere University, and in Kampala. So I was saying that globally, and that peace center in Kampala welcomed, its first inaugural cohort 4 years ago, actually in 2021. So those were the first set of peace fellows that went to Kampala. And that our peace centers, still in line with the discussions this morning, they are basically for people to know more about peace building, conflict prevention, and so on. And that additionally, Rotary as a humanitarian service organization, peace is a cornerstone of our mission. And that Rotary says on its website, if we believe that when people come together and work to create peace in their communities, that can have a global effect. Just to also, add to the discussions about what Rotary is doing all over the world with different peace centers, 7 of them around the world and 1 in Africa. Thank you very much, my leaders.
Thank you very much, my AG. Does any other person have something to say?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, my DG, my PDG, Omotunde Lawson, and other PDGs on board. Good morning, DLF, and fellow Rotarians. My name is Niyi Adekunle from Rotary Club of Bagada, the irresistible president. I actually heard DG Adenekon when he mentioned that it's difficult to package a global grant on peace building and conflict prevention. It actually must be very, very true, because to sell the idea in my club, making peace building and conflict resolution star project for this year, because that's our star project in Rotary Club of Bagada for this year. It actually was a tug of war, because a lot of people were concerned that star project must be maybe brick and mortar. That's very difficult to measure the impact of peace building as a project. But so far, I can tell you that districts and overall Rotary, I think they must insist on having a project by clubs every year on peace building and conflict prevention. We made Ikeja area and by extension Lagos State our community in terms of needs assessment. We went around and we saw a lot. We saw a lot of bad things happening in our society. As a matter of fact, if the side of peace building is not properly addressed, whatever we put together as Rotary, it's a joke, because people are going to destroy it. Intentionally, they will mismanage whatever we put together to the detriment of the community we are looking at serving. We realize that there are cult groups every corner of these states, and majorly they are feeding from secondary school Because once children exit secondary school, they start going to join all these court groups. And largely, we realize that lack of peace is actually directly tied to bad economy. People are looking at surviving at all costs. And since there's no really major welfare package from government that people will need to fend for themselves, they just go ahead and join whatever group and start fomenting trouble in the name of looking for making money. And because there are thugs already in our society that have been so elevated, some of them have been so elevated to the level of statesmen. So easily, these children are already seeing them as role model, and they are trying to be like them. So we have been in secondary schools in Lagos, particularly District 6. So far, we have gone to about 5 schools now. The program is welcome. We are training them on peace building and conflict prevention. So because we know that it's directly tied to bad economy, we are layering on it on other skills, particularly IT skills. And what's it called now? We are training them on CPR, how to resuscitate a dying person, and drug abuse. Because we know, we have seen that drug has a very, very big role in actually making the environment, making unrest to be possible by those miscreants. So what I would just want to give is information that we at Rotary Club of Gbagada, we are already working on peace building and conflict prevention. And because we know it ties to economy, we are layering on it other skills to make the people to be useful to themselves without necessarily taking to crime. That's just it. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much, my president. Do we have any more? Any addition? Okay. Since we don't have any more, let's start rounding up. I'll invite my learning facilitator, the district learning facilitator, to take the stage, please. PDG Kola Shotipo.
Thank you so much, our Deputy District Learning Facilitator, Past Assistant Governor Uyishoyobi. We thank you for coordinating. And I also want to seize this opportunity to thank our speakers and our main facilitators for today. Our Kosheleri Past District Governor Motunde Lawson, ma'am, we thank you so much for your time and all the efforts put in place to ensure that you are here this morning to talk to us on positive peace. And of course, my dear brother, Rotarian Maliki, we thank you as a foremost law enforcement officer. We know that you have a busy schedule, but we've been able to put some things together. We appreciate you. And to my dear fellow Rotarians that have created time to join us this morning, I wish you well. And I say that whatever things we've been able to learn today, I urge you to share it with your fellow Rotarians in your various clubs and other clubs. And let us continue to build peace in our community so that we can prevent conflict before it happens. On that note, I want to ask our district governor, DG Adenekon, to please close the meeting.
Thank you very much, my district learning facilitator, fellow Rotarians, guests, and friends. Once again, I thank all of us for joining, and I thank our facilitators for coming in. It has been an engaging section, and the participation was very high. And personally, I was also very, very involved in this one. So on this note, having had a fulfilled interaction and learning this morning, and a useful day, to be good beginning for our weekend, I want to declare this session closed and wish us the best of the weekend. And we pray that God will continue to keep us. Amen. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Good night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you, our Deputy Learning Facilitator, for the coordination this morning. God bless you all. Have a pleasant and blessed evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Have a nice
you.
weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.